Happy Flash Friday. I'm Kal-Legro, and welcome back to Flashpoints, the show where I give you the key plot points of this week's episode of The Flash in under 5 minutes. So it's been a while since I did an episode because we had the mid-season finale and then we had the holiday break. So now we're back, and when we last left Barry, he was being framed and arrested for the murder of Clifford DeVoe, who had already transferred his consciousness into Dominic Lance. So season 4, episode 10 takes place a few months after, I believe, and it's entitled The Trial of the Flash. The trial of Barry Allen has begun, and Cecile is representing Barry. We do have a number of witnesses that testify, one of which is Captain Singh, who kind of tries to promote Barry's character and say he's a good guy and he's always reliable. On the other hand, we have Marlise, who is the supposed widow of Clifford DeVoe, testifying against Barry, and there's a slew of evidence against Barry. Like, everything is overwhelming against Barry. They try to entrap her by showing a picture of her kissing Dominic Lance, but she's able to twist that story by saying that her husband approved of that relationship because Dominic was able to give her things that her husband couldn't fulfill the needs of because her husband was crippled by ALS. So her husband Clifford welcomed that relationship between her and Dominic, but we really know that Dominic is Clifford DeVoe, or the Thinker, because he transferred his conscious into Dominic at the end of the mid-season. We do have a scene where Barry comes face to face with Dominic, who is Clifford, as we know, and Clifford tells him that, hey, not only have I taken Dominic's body, but I also have his powers, and I know that you're beaten because I can tell, I can read your mind, and I know that you're beaten. And Barry says, hey, it's not over yet. I can get out of this. We do have a touching moment later in the episode where Iris is about to reveal Barry's identity as the Flash, but Barry slows down time, thus freezing everyone around them, and tells her, hey, you can't do this. I'm going to face the consequences of no matter what and leave it to the justice system to get me out of this. To make matters worse, there's a new metahuman roaming. His name is Neil Borman, but he's also known as Fallout, and he's unintentionally sickening people by radiation poisoning because he's giving out radio waves that are making people pass out and become really, really sick. He's stopped by Team Flash, comprised of Barry, who left his trial to save the city, and Caitlin, who's assumed Killer Frost's identity again, just to stop him and freeze him to cool him down. That way Barry can run around him and create a vacuum, thus containing his powers. Also, Cisco's there, and he vibes Fallout into Earth 15, which is a dead Earth. So they're able to stop him. Then Barry returns to the trial to be sentenced, and unfortunately, he's found guilty, and he's sentenced to life in prison. Now, the ironic thing is, the final scene is he's put into Iron Heights prison in the same cell that his father occupied while he was there, who was also wrongly imprisoned for the murder of his mother, who we all know was done by the Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne. So it was actually a great episode, a great comeback to the series. It was really interesting to see what happened to Barry. I did not expect him to be found guilty, or I found there would be some time jumping or something that would happen that helped him solve it, but he faced the consequences, and now he's guilty, and we'll see where the story goes from there. We know next week's episode is going to be Dibny-centric, so he's going to assume the mantle of the hero of the city while the Flash is incarcerated. You can always find me. Once again, I'm Kal-Legro. You can always find me at Baron Deja Vu on Twitter, and please subscribe to the Kingslayer Network. I release videos almost daily, but for Flashpoints, I release them every Friday to celebrate Flash Friday, talking about this week's episode of The Flash. So once again, this has been the Trial of the Flash in under 5 minutes. And until next time, guys, keep running towards your goals, and I'll see you in the future.